Hey, it's Dora, and welcome back to the Sunday Scaries Student Edition. I am here with the brilliant Gael Aitor from Teenager Therapy.
Hi, everyone.
So for today's episode, we are diving into pursuing your dreams. And I don't know about you, Gael, but for me, that was a bit scary when I was younger. And I've been reflecting on this topic a lot because I'm turning 30 at the end of the year. And I've just been thinking about my own evolution and my path to where I am, because following my dreams or not fulfilling the dreams that my parents had for me was like so nerve-wracking, and I didn't want to let them down. I didn't want to let anyone else down. And I'm curious for you, Gael. Tell me about starting Teenager Therapy and maybe some of the fears that you had while you were starting out. Give me the rundown.
Yeah, that was 4 years ago. I was 15 years old at the time. I was going into my sophomore year, and I was in the pool, kind of bored, not really sure what to do, swimming around. I had my speaker. I was like, I don't want to listen to music. I'm kind of tired of it. I'm bored of the music I have right now. What else is there to listen to? Eventually, I came across a podcast called Couples Therapy.
Yeah.
And the more I listened, the more I loved it. And I became obsessed with it. And eventually I had the thought, well, what if I do that? What if I create a podcast where it's me and my friends talking about the issues that matter to us, and the listener could feel like if they were a fly on the wall, listening to all the drama, the messy stories, the issues, and how we dealt with them.
Yeah.
And now we are here 4 years later, like still doing this every single week. Like it's been about 209 weeks. From the beginning, I have always been very intentional about the dreams that I have and how I want to pursue them. And I remember making a plan when I was 13 about what I wanted to have by the end of high school. And I wanted to have an audience and a platform where I could share my projects and my ideas. And then eventually, that could make a career out of that.
I was kind of similar to you in the sense of like wanting a platform for myself. But I, went to school, did the school thing. My parents were like very school forward. So I got my first degree in psychology, and then I went back to school and got my second degree in psychiatric nursing. But I was missing community. And when I was studying in psychiatric nursing, I was noticing that there was no representation in any of the mental health things that we were talking about. I'm like, well, what about my experience? Because that was what got me into meditation, was like not seeing myself in any of the help that I was getting. So I started to hold spaces for Black women in Vancouver. And the first event that I had, there was like 70 women that showed up. And I was like, oh, okay, like this is so needed. But I remember the first time I got there, I'm like shaking in front of everyone, like, and today, so my name is Dora, and like there was a lot of fear there because I kind of felt like an imposter. Like I hadn't really figured out my own life yet, but I just wanted to share what I was going through and see if anyone else could relate. And it stayed like that for 4 years, where I was going to nursing school full-time, working 2 part-time jobs, and then also hosting these community spaces. But I just had this vision of like, this is what fuels me. This is what's motivating me. This is what's nourishing me so much. And so that's what allowed me to overcome the fear of like, am I an imposter? Like, do I have all my stuff together that I can be holding space for all these people? And also meditation as well, of, being present in the moment and trusting like, yeah, I'm here for a purpose.
I like what you said about that fear of, do I belong here? Am I doing this correctly?
Yeah.
How did you overcome that fear in the beginning?
Yeah, I had to get out of my own way and not think about myself so much. Because when you are working in community or are in service to other people, like it's not about you, So I'd have people that would reach out to me and be like, hey, thank you so much. Like I was suffering with depression, and to hear someone talk about it that looks like me means the world. And here I was so scared to say anything, but then people are thanking me for it. So I really had to get out of my own way and stop looking at it from my own point of view and just recognize that I'm like, it's bigger than me now.
I still feel that anxiety of, oh my God, am I going to be successful? Am I going to be able to fulfill these expectations? So I get to do what I want, but there's still that pressure in the back of my head. Like, okay, I got to keep going. I got to keep doing this.
Yeah.
And I think for Teenager Therapy, in the beginning, when we first started, it was It actually wasn't intimidating until people were listening.
Yeah.
Starting it is easy. You're like, I'm just going to throw it out there. Zero listens, doesn't matter. But
Yeah.
once you see, oh my God, there's 1,000 people listening. Oh my God, there's 2,000, there's 3,000, 10,000 people listening, however many there might be.
Yeah.
That's when the fear starts to develop. And I think those first couple of months were especially hard for my team specifically. I don't think I have even processed that there's real people listening, because to me, the podcast is just me getting a chance to vent my frustrations, my problems, my feelings out.
Yeah.
And it's like I throw them out into this microphone and I don't think anyone listens. I'm throwing it out a vacuum. That's it. But my co-hosts were a lot more aware of the fact that real people are listening.
Yeah.
And I think what I had to really explain to them is you don't have to worry about being this expert. The best that we can do, especially as teenagers, is just tell our story.
This is like reminding me of just like purpose and the value of finding your purpose and staying connected to your purpose, because it sounds like you kind of knew what you wanted to do and were very intentional. But when you began, like, did you think this was a part of your life purpose to have this podcast?
Interestingly enough, I didn't. I accidentally stumbled into my passion. I didn't spend time thinking, what am I passionate about? What are my dreams? I think too many teenagers spend their time thinking about what their passions and what their values are, instead of just trying things and seeing what feels right.
I love that, because I find that I am able to find out more about my purpose and what I'm truly passionate about by being in situations that remind me, like, this is not what I'm passionate about. Like, and it all comes from actually like trying and doing the thing. But if you're just like sitting at home writing in your journal about your values and the things that you're passionate about, you won't really know until you're like in it and you're there and you're doing the thing. So following those little breadcrumbs from universe, God, whatever it is that you believe in that is guiding you towards your purpose is super important. And surrounding yourself with other dreamers or people that can support your dreams, because there was a few people that I had shared about not wanting to pursue nursing anymore. And because they had this fixed way of seeing the world where success could only come from having stable income, to go out and be an entrepreneur was something that they had never heard about. So it started to make me doubt myself. But then I was like, I have to be very intentional with who I share my dreams with, because there's certain people that can make you doubt your dreams.
Yeah, protect them. Protect your little dreams.
Yes.
The hardest part about actually following your dreams is action. How do you feel about taking that big leap? What are some ways that you overcome that mental block of avoiding change?
What's coming up for me in this moment is talking about social media, because I feel like sometimes we can take the leap because we feel pressured by social media. Like you see everyone else doing these things and it's like, oh man, like I got to keep up. I got to show my own highlight reel and I got to put myself out there. And it may be prematurely, so you may not even be ready, but because you think that you should be ready, you do the thing. And that can add a lot of unnecessary fear and unnecessary pressure, because we're not following our own pace, but we're trying to keep up with like the timeline of other people. Yeah, sometimes social media can really take me out of the present moment of like, I actually am doing enough.
When you follow your dreams, you have to remind yourself to stop every once in a while and look back at how far you've come. If you don't do that, you might burn out. You might feel like you're getting nowhere, even though you've took 1,000 steps forward and you didn't even realize it. And I forget to do it sometimes. I'm very guilty of moving on to the next thing, accomplishing one little dream/task, and then being like, well, what's the next dream? What's the next dream? Without realizing like, oh my gosh, I'm doing it. I'm doing what I wanted to do.
Yeah. So I wanted to guide us into a meditation. And one of the things that mindfulness and meditation can teach us is to actually be with that fear and invite it in and make friends with your fear, because it's there. There's a thin line between fear and excitement. And sometimes you just need to sit with it and be present with it. And it can turn into something that can actually support us and catapult us into something greater. So let's just begin to settle in. You can be sitting upright or lying down. And your eyes can be open or closed. Just taking a moment now to find the breath in your body. Feeling into that rising and falling sensation of the breath. Together, let's just take a deep breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Softening the eyebrows, unclenching the jaw, relaxing your shoulders. Taking another deep breath, breathing in and letting go. I invite you now just to bring to mind this feeling or sense of fear that may arise when you are pursuing your dreams or even starting a new beginning. It's just noticing what fear can look like, either in your thoughts or in your body. Maybe there's certain things that you say to yourself. Perhaps there's a specific feeling in the body that arises. When you have it there, connecting to your breath. And just breathing with that feeling. Dissolving those thoughts breath by breath. Noticing when the mind wanders or gets distracted and just bringing it back to this moment. Back to this breath. And then the next breath. And something that I like to do is also just thanking fear. You know, fear is this ancient mechanism in our bodies that is really designed just to keep us safe. Just taking a moment, even just to say, thank you, fear. Acknowledging its presence and then just letting it go. And then returning back to the feeling of your body resting on your chair or the surface beneath you. Feeling the feet on the floor, wiggling your hands and wiggling your toes. And when you're ready, in your own time, slowly and gently opening your eyes. Just taking a moment here to pause and notice what came up for you in that practice. So it's just little by little that we can start to lean into that feeling of fear. And you may even notice that fear goes by another name. Sometimes we think it's fear. It could be sadness, could be grief, could be excitement, nervousness, anxiousness, but really learning to understand your fear and understand where it comes from can help you work with it in a more skillful way. How are you feeling, Gael?
Very, very relaxed.
Yeah.
Very mindful. I feel
Yeah.
very mindful. I feel like my thoughts are in order.
Yeah. Did anything come up for you in that meditation?
I did.
Yeah.
I think a lot of grief and dealing with that.
Yeah. The thing that happens when we follow our dreams is that there is a lot of grieving that can come up because you're shedding the person that you thought you were going to be. You know, there's a loss of identity, which I don't think we talk about with grief.
Oh, definitely. I agree with you. We do not talk about that enough.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing about your journey to following your dreams and pursuing your passion. And for those of you that are tuning in and maybe feeling that fear or unsure where to start, you can always come back to this meditation to understand that fear, and hopefully it can allow you to move forward with more clarity. Today, we discussed being able to follow your excitement and following the things that light you up. Surrounding yourself with other dreamers. It's so important to be in an environment where people can, support you and your dreams and not make you doubt yourself. And Gael shared about being super intentional with your dreams. For me, setting an intention includes focusing on how do you want to feel? And what are the activities or things that you can do in your everyday life that will allow you to achieve that feeling? How can you do those things more often? And if you're interested in getting more support in following your passion or being able to handle the fear that can come up with pursuing your dreams, here are a few courses to check out in the Headspace app. Number 1, check out the self-compassion course written by yours truly. There's also the Fear of the Future course and a beautiful meditation by my friend Sam called Experiencing Strong Emotions. So my friends, thank you so much for checking in with yourself today. Gael and I will see you back here next week where we'll be talking about an experience both of us share, navigating our teen years while living with immigrant parents. Gael, thank you so much for joining me again this week.
Thank you for having me.
And for everyone that's listening and tuning in, we will see you back here next week.